Hello guys, in today's video, we're gonna check out the best epoxy primers in this year. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I've tried to list them based on their price, quality, durability, and many more. To find out more information about these epoxy primers, you can check out the description below. If you want to get a best quality epoxy primers according to your needs, then watch the video till the end, and then decide to buy. At the first position of our list, we have Speedokote 2-in-1 Primer. An epoxy primer is a resin-based sealer that forms a non-porous surface once it cures. And although the surface is very hard, you can sand it with a sanding machine to create a very smooth surface that's easy to paint. This high-build urethane primer creates a thick layer, and you can thin it with a thinner of your choice. This epoxy primer is specially designed for the mobile repair industry. You will love the fact that it dries and cures very fast, without compromising substrate adhesion. After it cures, it is easy to sand and leaves a smooth feather edge, an edge that thins out like a feather. If you want great results, follow the instructions provided by the manufacturer. And don't forget to sand the material as soon as the primer cures, as it hardens very quickly. While this is one of the best primers on the market, it has a few downsides. It is more expensive than similar epoxy primers on the market. You may also not be too pleased with the thick layer it creates. And if you let it cure for too long, you may have a very hard time sanding it. Moving on to the next at number 2 with SprayMax 2 Activated Epoxy Primer. There's no use buying an epoxy primer that does not work. It must be easy to apply, cure well, and leave a smooth finish. It must also be long-lasting. Not every epoxy primer on the market has these features, but the SprayMax 2 Activated Epoxy Primer does. It comes in an aerosol can for easy application. It is the perfect product to use on bare metals because it offers excellent adhesion. It also forms a protective coat to protect metals against corrosion. If you are in the market for an epoxy primer that does not need to be mixed with a sealer or another product for the best results, this is it. SprayMax has designed the can in such a way that it has a broader spray pattern than traditional aerosols. And thanks to its wide spray pattern, you may complete your project sooner than you expected. You can use the epoxy primer on a variety of surfaces, including fiberglass, anodized aluminum, cold rolled steel, and zinc-coated steel. However, the product is not without shortcomings. For starters, some users have complained about it not being more durable than a conventional one primer. The pressure inside the can is also not very high, so the amount dispensed may not be sufficient. And since the spray pattern is very wide, the film may be quite thin. The number 3 position is held by Custom Shop Black Epoxy Primer/Sealer. Custom Shop sells its epoxy primer/sealer separately from its hardener. The good thing is that they both come in 2 large containers. The primer quickly primes the surface, and the hardener makes the coat tough and durable. This is a very strong adhesive that can be applied on different surfaces, like bare metal, aluminum, steel, gel coat, and fiberglass. It's a DTM, direct-to-metal primer. The 1:1 mixing ratio makes for more precise mixing. The mixture is easy to apply, and once it cures, can be easily sanded. There is no induction time required before application. The primer is free of lead and chromate and features anti-corrosive properties to offer maximum defense against rust and corrosion. It is also resistant to salt spray and dries and very quickly after application. The great thing about this epoxy primer is that it can be used as a sealer for base coat clear coat. It is available in black, white, and gray colors with differently sized quart kits and gallon kits. However, it is much thinner than most epoxy primers, and you may have difficulty applying it with a brush or a roller. Additionally, the clear activator has tiny pieces that may not dissolve at times. Next at number 4 we have Speedokote Epoxy Fast Dry DTM Primer and Sealer. This product makes your job easier because it functions as a primer and a sealer. Its mixing ratio is 4:1. You can also get it together with a VOC reducer to decrease the quantity of volatile organic compounds. The primer can be used on a wide range of materials, including fiberglass, steel, and aluminum. It is also easy to apply and leaves an even finish for a professional look. This highly versatile epoxy primer is suitable for a variety of priming needs. It dries quickly and offers protection against rust, corrosion, and deterioration. In an environment of 75 degrees Fahrenheit, it only takes 15 minutes to fully dry. This means you will be done with your project in no time. Whether you want to prime metal surfaces or prepare your car for a paint job, this primer is an excellent choice. It has been tried and tested by both professionals and dyers, so you can buy it with confidence. It offers long-lasting protection against corrosion and will protect your surfaces for a long time to come. However, it is worth noting that some people find it too thick for their liking. Because it doesn't come in an aerosol can, you have to use a squeegee to spread it, which may be an inconvenience. The number 5 position is held by Transtar 6164 Gray Epoxy Primer and a sealer. Picking the best epoxy primer may seem very straightforward, but it isn't. You have to weigh all your options before making a purchase. One of the things most professionals consider when buying an epoxy primer is how much preparation is needed. Some epoxy primers can be applied immediately while others must be mixed with other components before application. If you are not willing to put in extra effort to prepare the mixture beforehand, get this epoxy primer. It is a corrosion-resistant primer that is free of lead and chromate. We also love that it provides excellent adhesion to a variety of materials. It resists damage caused by water permeation and improves the adhesion of body fillers. You can use a thinner to reduce its viscosity. When the viscosity is reduced, you can use it as a sealer, a ground coat, or a pre-coat before applying the top coat. However, for the best results, you can't use this primer on its own. You have to buy the Transtar 6144 activator and mix the two products at a ratio of 1:1. And if you want to use it as a sealer, you have to get the Transtar 6700 urethane grade reducer. The number 6 position is dominated by Seahawk Tuff Stuff Epoxy Primer. If you want to prime a large surface, it is important to get a primer that can do the job excellently in the shortest time possible. What we like about this primer is that it is of high quality and makes any surface smooth after application. It allows paint to stick more easily for a shinier effect. The primer is designed to be used on yachts and protects metals from rust and corrosion, whether they are above or below the waterline. Microsheet silicate technology allows it to build a powerful water barrier that resists moisture and water penetration. But to get a usable product, you have to mix the epoxy primer with the hardener. The product is sold as a 2-gallon kit or a 1/2-gallon kit. You can get the latter if you only want to tackle small DIY projects. The epoxy primer is highly resistant to humidity and high temperatures. After it cures, you can apply several coats of paint on top of it and the finish will be very smooth. However, the manufacturer recommends that you don't apply more than 4 coats of paint on top of it. You can apply this epoxy primer over blistered fiberglass as a repair coat. It is a high-build epoxy, which means you only need to apply a few coats for great results. However, while it is a great product, it doesn't come cheap and costs more than similar primers. It also takes 2 days to dry, which is long compared to some epoxy primers. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Swim Epoxy Primer for Epoxy-Base Swimming Pool Paint. This 2-part epoxy primer can be applied on fiberglass, gel coat, sandblasted surfaces, rough concrete, and rough plaster. Its heavy viscosity allows it to fill imperfections on surfaces for a more uniform look. The Swim has designed this top-of-the-line epoxy primer for swimming pools. It creates a solid base coat for swimming pool paint and quickly absorbs surface moisture. The best thing about this epoxy primer is that it can be applied even when the surface is damp. For the best results, use a paint roller to apply it. A gallon is enough to cover up to 150 square feet. The primer has a pod life of 4 hours and is setting with a temperature of 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Before applying the top coat, leave it to cure for 24 to 48 hours. While we love this epoxy primer, we feel the Swim should make the container more tough because it gets easily dented. The primer also dries very quickly, almost too quickly. One end of your swimming pool may be dry by the time you get to the other end. The number 8 position is held by Eastwood Catalyzed Technology 2 AeroSpray Epoxy Primer. The Eastwood AeroSpray Epoxy Primer makes your priming jobs easier than ever. It is an incredible adhesive that does not need to be spread using a squeegee. All you need to do to activate the product is give it a quick shake. The aerosol spray allows you to work with a lot of precision without using a paint gun. It is designed using Eastwood's patented technology and provides a long-lasting finish, keeping your material beautiful for years to come. The aerosol can features nozzle and valve technology and 2 internal chambers that make sure the product is mixed in the right ratio every time. The nozzle sprays the primer like a paint gun and has a wider spray pattern than traditional aerosols. This epoxy primer can be applied on fiberglass, steel, aluminum, existing finishes, and body fillers. The pot life is approximately 48 hours after the can is activated. The Eastwood AeroSpray Epoxy Primer is a good choice if you're looking for a primer that is easy to apply and also durable. It dries at top speed and will ensure you complete your priming jobs without sacrificing quality for speed. However, the aerosol can has a tendency to leak, and since it comes in a small size, it may not be enough for your project. Next at number 9, Wehouse SprayMax Epoxy Primer. The Tuff Epoxy Primer by UX is one of the easiest primers to apply. No need to use a paintbrush or squeegee with this product. All you have to do is activate the primer, shake it, and spray it. That's literally it. Needless to say, if you're looking for an easy-to-use product, this is it. The UX's Epoxy Primer provides excellent adhesion and fill, as well as great corrosion resistance. It also dries quickly as a hard gel on any surface material, be it metal or fiberglass. It covers around 4 to 6 square feet of surface, but if you want a really smooth end result, it's wise to apply a couple of coats. Of course, you can also sand the surface with a sander for a super smooth result, or paint over it. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Interlux InterProtect Epoxy Primer Kit. Looking for a quality epoxy primer for your boat? Look no further than Interlux's InterProtect 2002 part epoxy coating. Formulated with microplates technology, this product protects fiberglass hulls from moisture and water absorption, plus helps repair gel coat damage by osmotic blistering. The InterProtect 2000 has great adhesion properties to various materials, including fiberglass, metal, wood, and composite. It offers excellent anti-corrosion and oxidation properties, and can be used for both above and below the waterline. As mentioned, it contains microplates technology, which creates an overlapping water barrier, helping protect your boat against water absorption. As a bonus, it's also perfect for repairing damaged gel coat. Importantly, it's also easy to apply, quick to dry, and there is no sanding required. That's all for today. We upload all types of car accessories, review videos every single day. So, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.